Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Gonzalo Guerrero. I'm a PhD student from the Institute of Education at UCL in London. I'm from Chile, and today I'm going to be presenting my paper called Progressive Neo-extractivism in Latin America and Opportunities for Pro-ecojustice Assemblages in Science Educations. In this paper, I'm working with some colleagues from Statewise. As you can see the names here, Larry Benz, Mash Soda, Sarah Halwani, Shalisa Ibrahim, David Gabo, and Michele Peixoto. My email is here if you want to contact me at the end of the presentation, and I hope you have some questions. Maybe Larry can help me with this or Shalisa. Otherwise, you can write me directly to my email. To start my presentation today, I'm going to give you a kind of overview. So I'm going to start talking about what is the context in Latin America, specifically about some such environmental conflicts. I'm going to be doing a small summary about colonialism, extractivism, and the process of neoliberalization of nature, which is part of like the new process or the new scenario in Latin America to define the new progressive extractivism. And then I'm going to give you a brief example about a specific social environmental conflict in my country, in Chile, and how we did a map of network and the network of actants of different entities and different actants affecting and promoting this conflict in my country. Finally, I'm going to talk about some progressive neoliberal networks and how can we find some opportunities to develop or to promote some eco-justice assemblages in the context of Latin America. So just to start about the context, basically in Latin America, today we have more than 960 conflicts. In all over the world, we have more than 300 and 800 ongoing social environmental conflicts. This is a consequence of the neoliberalization of nature, but also as a consequence of progressive neo-extractivism. Just to give you a definition of what is the meaning of this. So progressive neo-extractivism in the global south specifically constitute a structural feature of capitalism in which the state plays a crucial role in regulating, promoting, and guaranteeing the development of extractivism, mainly controlled by global companies, by the global capitals, and unfortunately, the dynamics of economic growth based on historical extractivism, neoliberalism, and a particular mode of accumulation have increased social environmental conflicts in my region in Latin America. As you can see here, this is the Environmental Justice Atlas, which gathered all the information about all the conflicts in the global south, but also in global north. As you can see here, in the case of South America, basically we have a lot of conflicts around the Andes Mountains, and this is because in that specific area, we have a lot of natural resources. Obviously, this is a consequence of a process of colonialism, neoliberalization, and all the global capitals which are moving and traveling, and the global companies who are like investing the capital to continue with the process of extractivism. In the case of Chile specifically, I've been using a map developed by the Institute of Human Rights. This is a public institution in Chile who's gathering also what kind of active or ongoing conflicts are we having in Chile. And as you can see here in this map, we can have a lot of information regarding all the conflicts, specifically in different areas like mining, energy, water, what kind of indigenous communities are being affected by the conflict, and so on. You can Google and you can take a look of the map if you want to discover one of the information. And this is a very good map to gather all the information in only one place, and also to see what kind of human rights are being affected by the social environmental conflict, mainly created by extractivism. As you know, all the context about the global warming, climate change in our planet is huge, but today I'm going to focus specifically in the last image here about glaciers, okay? So in Chile, we have a lot of glaciers which has been affected by global warming, but also all the glaciers are being affected by the emergency of global warming, but also neoliberalization of nature based on neo-extractivism. So considering all the previous context, my question in my research is what can we do to promote a scientific and environmental science education for pro-ecojustice assemblages in science? So I'm from Santiago, this is Chile, and now I'm going to talk about a specific environmental conflict that we have in the Andes Mountains, specifically very close to my city. This is the capital, as I said, and I developed my research in a national park, which is called El Morado. Then El Morado is a natural monument, it's a national park located not too far from the capital. And also this monument is a glacier circuit, it's part of like a El Volcan River, and also Cerro El Volcan, which is like a mountain, dominate the landscape. As you can see here, this is the national park. At the end of the trekking, you can find this glacier. It's called San Francisco Glacier. It's in the Andes Mountains, and also you can arrive to see the lagoon there. And this is one of the pictures I took. Unfortunately, I cannot reproduce the video here, but it's like a big picture of the park at the end of the trekking. And more than 300 species are living there, including the puma, including the condor, more than 35 types of birds, flora and fauna around, like different snakes, foxes, and so on, are living in the national park and around the area. And what is happening here? So there is a big environmental conflict happening here. There is a project with a system of tunnels called Alto Maipo. As you can see here, small, you can see Santiago, which is the capital. And what is doing this project? This is a mega project consisting of 2 hydroelectric power stations. The 2 of them are controlled by a company from Austria. And they are currently building the system of tunnels, as you can see here. It's a huge system of tunnels with more than 70 kilometers. The project is collecting and gathering the water from 3 different rivers to produce the energy. And then they are putting back the water into the river. And the problem is this river is giving or providing the water supply for many of the people living in the capital of Santiago. And as a consequence of this project, a lot of people can be suffering in the future the consequences of the lack of water supply because of this conflict. What is happening here? So this project is working in the country because of a big network of actors. There are many neo-extractivist or progressive neo-extractivist network of actors around Alto Maipo. As you can see here, the International Finance Corporation, supported by the World Bank, is supporting the project. Also, more than 7 banks from the United States are supporting this. This is an international company called AS Jenner, now with a new name, only AES. We have also the OPIC, but also national companies who developed a really good lobby to control what is happening in the project. But all of them, as you can see here, like the 3 main companies, were supported by the government. In the case of Chile, some progressive governments and the role of the state has been key to support what is happening here and to promote this project in the country. But also, as you can see here, there is a constitution developed during dictatorship which can support all the privatization of the water and can promote and give all the permissions, all the legislations to approve that kind of project in Chile. And also it's a lot of money and the control of the water now in the capital of Santiago can be mainly controlled by this international network, and also affecting obviously the glacier, affecting the rivers, because the system of tunnels is destroying the environment, destroying a lot of ecosystems there. Therefore, this kind of conflict is affecting human, non-human, but also more than human entities. When I'm talking about more than human entities, is for some indigenous in Chile, they're considering, for instance, the river or a glacier as a more than human entity, something that is beyond our capacity to understand reality. I wanted to show you a video, but unfortunately I cannot play it here, but it's like what I did. I went there with a group of teachers to understand the situation there and to promote field trips, to organize activities outside the classroom, visiting the national park, and to develop a kind of didactic sequence based on stepwise, based on all the model that Larry Benz and all the team have developed to how to teach science from a more critical way. But also, I've been talking with them, with all the group. We are like 10 people organizing this action research project. And the main concept is like to try to understand the interdependence and the interconnectedness of human beings with natural entities, to try to seek, to try to find and discuss opportunities. What can we do against this kind of neo-progressive project? But basically, some of the conclusions at this stage, obviously I have only 10 minutes, so I would like to talk more about this, but basically some of the conclusions from the group is like we need to feel, perceive, reflect, and rethink ontologically our position in relation to nature, in relation to non-human or more than human entities, to raise awareness. And as an example, this is the final section of my presentation, we have some opportunities to develop some network, to explore some pro-ecojustice assemblages as well. So my project is based on community-based outdoor science education from a critical approach and using the stepwise approach as well. But also now we are in contact with other communities, collectives, and local citizens to try to fight this project. And as you can see here, there is a big movement called No More Alto Maipo. We have been protesting, we have been striking, and also we have been talking with the new politicians who are developing the new Chilean constitutions to promote the right of nature, to take care and protect the environment, and to protect the access to water. So we are trying to extend, to develop the pro-ecojustice assemblages and trying to find new opportunities to collaborate and act with more people. If you can read more about this, we published a paper in the journal for activist science and technology education, so you can take a look on this. But also, if you have more questions, please send me an email to g.hernandez@uclac.uk. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.